What's going on, Mad Hatters, and welcome back to some Set 11 madness. And how have you been feeling? What do you think of the reveals? What do you think of playtesting? I've liked it. I've enjoyed it a lot. I like that Tribal Synergy is coming back they really tried this set. I think that's really cool. I like the theme, of course. We got Stitch and Angel in the house. There's just a lot of cool things, and I've been really enjoying testing as well. So these are the lists that I've been testing so far. These are the ones that I've been enjoying. Some of them I feel really confident about. I could take to a case event tomorrow. Some of them, it's more fun than anything else, and we'll talk about that. But also, I want to mention, I have my Winterspell deck notes. It's where I'm putting all my matches, all the deck lists that I'm trying, and you can see all the changes I've made. And then also this time around, compared to last set, I'm putting all of my matches, win or lose, the stand downs, what I was against, if I won the dice roll, things like that. People ask me to be more intentional about it, so that's what I'm trying to do this set. I think it will make me a better player and something for you guys as well. So that's going to be in the description. But let's talk about the list that I've been enjoying. Let's get my big old face out of the way. We'll go here and then move on. First up, I have to talk about SteelSong, right? This is what I've been testing most recently with SteelSong. And I right off the bat, I will say that SteelSong's in a really weird place still. It's in a much better place than last set, without a doubt. Last set was really, really rough for it. It was missing some of those engines that it really needed, but it's feeling a lot better. Now, is it there? It needs a lot of refinement, okay? So this is where I'm at, though, and on the right are things that I want to still go into and test a little bit more. I haven't tested them yet. And then on the left is the list that I'm most currently on. And what this list is looking to do is really abuse the new song, right? We want to abuse that, and we want to get down some of these really good 5-drops. So we can get down Namari, which lets us filter for the songs we need, or filter for the characters we need, like Ariel, Sonic Warrior, the 4-cost Ariel, and then also Stitch. Stitch is a huge piece of the engine of this deck. And then Gazelle is another really good 5-drop because you can play Gazelle to get back a Cood. And the nice thing about that is that it is drawing you a card, so it is filtering, and you get a 3/8 Singer 7. So that feels pretty good, right? I'm pretty happy with her and how she's been feeling. And the deck is pretty low on inkables. We're running 13 on inkables, which is something that SteelSong is not super used to. Beyond the Horizons felt great. I still really like this card because it keeps other decks honest. They can't just run away with draw anymore, and it feels good. And when we have something like Gazelle that can sing it for free, why not, right? And if we get down maybe an Ursula plus Troubadour, then we can do it turn 3 or turn 4, turn 5, whenever we need it and we need the refill. So Beyond the Horizons felt really good. World's Greatest Criminal Mind is I could see going up to 3, especially with Elenwe, just because there's so many targets for World's Greatest Criminal Mind. Pete being the really big one. The 5-cost, the new blue Pete that you boost it and they can filter through their deck, kinda. And then finally, we got Ohana Means Family and Rewrite History. Ohana Means Family, still not sure about, but we have a lot of big butt characters. So there's a lot of opportunities to set up, the Rapunzel trap. It just feels bad because you're losing so much value doing that. You're losing a lot of tempo. So you need to really we used to be able to do Rapunzel for 1 card and we'd feel really good. Ohana Means Family, you really need to get 2 or 3, and if hoping for 3, but you can go really big with Gazelle if they leave themselves open for that. And then finally, Rewrite History. Ariel is a huge piece of this deck. Stitch is a huge piece of this deck. So getting to replay those is really, really important for when your opponent inevitably clears them. But also playing a Gazelle again feels really good as well. So the deck feels good. It's just, it needs a lot of refining that we'll hopefully get to. Cards that I still want to try is Doc. Just replace the Beyond the Horizons, go 4 Docs, and then maybe increase the Rewrite Histories. Because then if you include the Lilo package, you have this ability to just play an endless amount of docs that is going to feel really, really bad for your opponent. And that might be the way to go, is just take the 4 cards on the right and then slam them into the deck. So maybe we remove the gazelles, and that gives us the 4 rewrite histories, remove the beyond the horizons for the 3 docks, and we would probably remove maybe the Akuds to make the 4th dock and 3 of the Lilos, and you get it. We got to make room because that's a big package there that has a lot of payoff. It really does have a lot of payoff if you're just filtering your deck constantly with docks. So a lot to play with, but this is where we're at so far. Again, if you want to see how things go with it, get in the Metafy. It's completely free. I didn't mention that. And you can see how testing goes and what I'm winning and losing against. Next up, though, is another really fun list that I've been enjoying, and that is a Simba deck. If you guys watched any of my streams last set, I played a lot of blue-yellow, that Sapphire Amber boost variant of Simba last set, and I really enjoyed it. The problem was it just got the crap beat out of it by Aggro. So with this version of red-yellow, though, or ruby-amber, we have the ability to fight aggro really well. Mulan trades fine. Tinkerbell trades fine. The Liquidator is an amazing card. Liquidator could probably just go to 4 of, replace the Tinkerbells. And then we have cards like Pluto and Ruben to boost us into other things. So the play the dream play, right, into aggro is Mulan into Ruben. And then you play the shift Mulan the next turn thanks to Ruben. And then you just clear the aggro deck. So that sounds really nice. And then you have Headless Horseman for more aggro hate. So there's just a lot of aggro hate in this list. But then on the top end, we have a lot of good cards still. We have the Simba, and I'm running Recovered Page and the Scrooge McDuck. Both of those cards, you probably don't have to run. Like, there's better cards for those, but I just really wanted to focus on the Simba portion of it and really just high rolling with the Simba. To make this more consistent and competitive, though, you probably replace both of those. And with what? Probably some Mowgli's, maybe a Judy Hopps would feel really good. That combos really well. Maybe a Raya could feel really good also, that's not pictured in here. But other standouts in here is Slushy is an amazing turn 3 or turn 4 card that, like, there's almost nothing your opponent can do. When, like, if you're against Blurple, they have to somehow get rid of that before they can really start playing their game plan, because you win the evasive wars because of Slushy. They can no longer go Elsa plus Elenwe to win the evasive wars. Or sorry, Elsa plus Basil to win the evasive wars. They have to be able to let it go it. They have to be able to Elsa to turn it sideways and then into the unknown. Like, that feels really good against Blurple, okay? So it's just a big 5/5 evasive, annoying character that against some decks, you just never turn sideways. You just leave it there and say, good luck. Figure it out, because I'm just going to win the board with this 5/5 evasive. Top notch, A tier card in this deck. Other things, the Stitches are phenomenal. This deck really kind of suffered with draw for a while, but with the 5-cost Stitch and the 7-cost Stitch, it really helps a lot. Other additions, of course, the Sizu could work in place of the Bagheera. So if you wanted a 2-quester, it probably should have some kind of non-character hate, and so Mowgli would fit really well. Another one that could work in this is Grandmother Willow could work in this, and I wouldn't even hate replacing Pluto with Grandmother Willow, just because she comes down and she just sits there, right? And your opponent has to take it out. They have to turn it sideways, whereas Pluto, you have to turn them sideways. So against something like Amethyst Steel, against anything, they just trade into Pluto for free. The problem with Grandmother Willow, though, is that your 2-drop slot is a little important between the Rubens and the Fazus. So it can be a little tough, right? It can definitely be a little tough, and we might not even need additional cost reduction. But that's something else I want to play with, is Grandmother Willow in place of Pluto. But the decks felt fun. I've gotten to Simba high roll with a Scrooge McDuck and a Recovered Page. So I played the Recovered Page, I played the Scrooge McDuck. Next turn I played the Simba, and then I was able to boost twice with the Scrooge and the Recovered Page. So that felt really good. Or sorry, I boosted with the Scrooge McDuck, and then they couldn't clear the Simba. So next turn I then boosted paying 3 and boosted the recovered page. So in 2 turns, 3 boosts, which felt really good. But this deck, it's a lot of fun and a lot of aggro hate, which I really enjoy. I really enjoy aggro hate. So dirty dogs. Moving on, we have this fun list. This is my green-yellow Rockstar Stitch list, and I posted something like this on Twitter, on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And it was a little bit different. The one that I posted on Twitter didn't have the dog package in it. It just went really heavy into a lot of big bodies, so 0-4 bodies and things like that. But I wanted to include the dog package because if you don't see Stitch, you still need to find a way to win, was my issue. And I am not a dog player. I've never been a dog player. I've never really enjoyed I don't enjoy competitive aggro, so I don't really play a lot of dogs. So that being said, I know I'm not playing it optimally, but I do love seeing 12 Stitches. I do love seeing some Lilo in there and some Pudge in there. Is there better ways to optimize this list? Most definitely. And I will leave it to green-yellow players. Do I think it's better than regular dogs? That's hard to say. Regular dogs has the advantage of being able to run under the sea, right? And Della's Moon Lullaby, which are really good. Dogs, if you just run under the sea and then you run the Ursulas as well, you pretty much auto win the Amber Steel aggro matchups. And Amber Steel aggro is really good this set. We're going to talk about it here in a little bit. So yeah, the advantage of this list over something like a more refined dogs list that has under the seas and everything is that you just go crazy. If they don't answer the Stitch, the next turn, so if you played Grandmother Willow to shift Stitch on turn 3, the next turn, you can then play out a ton of characters because you're going into 4 ink plus a Grandmother Willow. So you could potentially play 5 characters the next turn. It feels really good. And you throw a Chromacon down on top of that, then you can bounce their characters or bounce your characters to play even more stuff. So one matchup I had, I used Chromacon to just bounce a couple of theirs, and then I bounced them back, some cards back to my hand so that it allowed me to play even more things. And the deck just feels great. The 7-cost Tramp, because you still need to find you need to find the Stitch. You need to be able to find the Chromacons. So those are the big ones. Maybe you need to find a Mowgli, right? But the list has been fun. I've enjoyed it. I love Rockstar Stitch. I really do. All right. Next up, though, we have Blurple. And Blurple has probably been the list. So we're going to talk about this and Purple Yellow, and these two lists have been the ones that I've seen the most success with. Blurple, I think, is going to go down as the best deck in the format. I'm gonna throw that out there right now. The deck just is fire. The deck just feels so good. It really does. You have your aggro hate, and so you have your aggro hate against dogs and Amber Steel. I was on Let It Goes over Into the Unknown to test that out, and then I lost to an Amber Steel player that turned a Tiana sideways, and I just couldn't do anything. So Into the Unknown came back, because then you just win the matchup. So that's felt really good. Tigger really does a number on the aggro decks as well, being able to bounce that 2-cost character, but also does a lot of work into Amber Steel because Amethyst Steel, because now you bounce their 2-drop or their 1-drop, and it makes it that much harder for them to sing Strength on you while you still develop a big board and do the things that you need to do. So Tigger's felt really good. I don't think I'd ever go up from 2 Tigger. Unless it was a local meta call thing. And if we saw a lot of local heavy aggro, then yeah, I could see decreasing the Demonas to upping the Tiggers. But Demona is here because it answers Pete. And I've been running into a lot of 5-cost Pete because 5-cost Pete is really, really good. And Demona answers that 5-cost Pete. It answers the Hades. It answers Demonas. It answers everything. And you throw an Ink Runner in there, and now it really answers everything. So game 1, you surprise him with that Ink Runner, and then because I didn't expect it, the game might just be over at that point. So this list has just felt great. I don't really miss the Hades that much. There is a really good argument of like keeping the Hades over the Petes. And there needs to be a lot more testing before I can make that choice. But there's a lot of nice things that come out of the Pete. The other thing that you could do with this list because of Pete and Cheshire Cat is throw in elephants. So maybe like wherever you could fit elephants, depending on your local meta. Maybe if it's Amethyst Steel heavy, you throw in elephants for Tigers, and that could work. Or I don't know, you don't like Wasabi, so you throw in 2 elephants for Wasabi. That would probably actually be the best fit. But Wasabi dominates purple yellow, amethyst amber, and it's really good against dogs to beat up those Chromacons. Also, Snowfort in green purple is a really annoying card, so Wasabi answers Snowfort as well. So this list, I could take this to a case event tomorrow and I'd feel very, very, very confident in how I would be able to do. Like there'd be nothing to blame the list on and only my own skill level to blame on if I was to lose that case tournament. This list, it just feels good. There's just a couple little things to play with. The Nimona numbers, the Tigger numbers, and if we include elephants or not. But definitely the big thing is Pete. Is it Pete or Hades? But feels really good. Feels really good. I definitely encourage you to try it. Next up, though, I do have to talk about the Winterspell Build-A-K event that's coming up. Up here in the Northeast, we have a ton of great events. We have the Ink CCQ, and then the week after that, we have the Winterspell Build-A-K event. For those that don't remember, it's a $30 event. $30, and all $30 go back into the prize pool, okay? Crazy, right? Like all of the money you pay for this goes into the prize pool. And then if we hit 100 people, the prize pool will double, right? So $6,000 event. Now, that being said, because of Delaware laws, we cannot do cash, okay? We have to do store credit, but Angel has a lot of Winterspell product, so you could buy all of the product you need, right then and there, or you can save it and spend it on the next set. Right. So I definitely encourage you. We have a top-notch caster, top-notch judge. We're going to have some bounties going. We have the Build-A-Pot or the Win-A-Box side events as well. So $10, you could win a box. Like, it's an amazing event. And just for showing up, you get 2 packs as long as you bring a printed deck list. So for $30, you get 2 packs of Winterspell and the potential to win a big amount of store credit for all the Lorcana stuff you want. There's also a lot of One Piece product here, so if you're a One Piece player, putting that out there. But let's talk about more deck lists, okay? So more deck lists, we've got Amethyst Amber, and this is, I'll put this caveat out there first. I am currently 14-0 with my set 10 list into Winterspell. Now, with that being said, it's a completely different game because everyone's testing unrefined lists. All I'm saying, the only reason I'm saying that is because I don't think you need to change anything at all about Amethyst Amber to show up to a case event or the Melbourne DLC and still take the win. I really don't. The list just feels really good in everything that you're trying to do. Now, what am I doing with this list? So you'll notice 2 key cards are not here. That is the 4-cost Genie. That is the 4-cost Dumbo. Now, the reason I've removed those is because of what is currently being tested and what is the hot thing. That is a lot of Evasive Hate with the Horseman Strikes and a lot of Genie Hate with Grab Your Bow and Headless Horseman. So I just cut them. I cut them out. Everyone was testing Sven also, so they were having good things there. So I cut them out and I wanted to try different things. So I'm trying the 3-cost Genie, the 4-cost Yzma, and then I've upped the number of Madame M Elephants and upped the number of Demonas. And some things have felt good. Some things have not felt good. I can tell the difference behind no Genie. I really can. Yzma, though, if Yzma sticks, it's game over. Like, if Yzma sticks for 1 turn and you can draw, the game is done. Like that, you probably have just won the game, no questions asked. And that's how Yzma has felt for me. And I did not expect it. I really didn't. But it's just felt great. In some games, I've used her to draw like 3 times because I use Yzma to draw and I find answers to their board so they can't clear my Yzma anymore. Or they're just worried about something else. So Yzma has felt really good. The Genie is because I wanted something in the 3-drop slot. And I thought the Genie would be a cute way to draw with Madame M Elephant. And it hasn't disappointed. if you go turn 2 Lantern to Genie and then put 1 under the Genie and boost that turn, and then next turn you can boost again and bounce with the Elephant, you draw 2 cards, and then you could the Genie can be ink or you can do it again. So that's felt really nice also. And it does, like, if you've inked it or boosted it 2 or 3 times and they're forced to like turn it into ink with a Hades or let it go, that feels really good. So I don't know. Is it better than what we were running in set 10? I don't think so. But it's a meta call. If Grab Your Bow, if Horseman Strikes and all those are super prevalent and a lot of yellow and Horseman, Headless Horseman and all of those hate cards on evasives and 2 attack characters, then maybe give this a try. Again, Demona is there because it answers Hades. It answers everything Amethyst Steel plays. I mean, it just answers everything. And it lives to tell a tale, right? It lives also. The deck still feels really good against Green Purple Burn, Amethyst Amber Burn. It feels good against dogs. Like, it feels good. Other things, though, that I still want to try, Ohaname's Family and Raging Storm. I don't know if they'll stick. Either one. Ohaname's Family, this deck is very tempo oriented, meaning you're working to control the board at all times, and like every turn is you trying to control the board. So to play Ohaname's Family feels really hard. So I haven't tested it yet. Raging Storm, if you play Raging Storm, I think you need to be on Genies. Or you could be on this that only has 4 uninkables, and then it makes it a little bit easier to have Raging Storm. Or 6. I had the 2 Timones in there. The problem is there's no filter. So if you get stuck with a Raging Storm in hand and a Timone, like, you're in a rough spot. You're having to ink really good cards. So I'm nervous about both of those. Stitch has been an interesting one for me. It's felt really good, actually. Questing for 2 is good. A 4/5 body is good. Drawing a card is good, right? Really good. I need to do more testing with this because I don't know how to read, apparently, because when I first started playing Stitch, I thought it had to be 2 Amber characters on the field. I treated it like Mickey Mouse, the Amber champion. So I found that I wasn't able to use it a lot. Now that I know that it's any characters, then it makes it a lot better. The other nice thing about Stitch is that a lot of things that can take it out have to trade into it. So if you get this down on turn 4, then that feels fine, right? You Lancer at turn 4, you can draw some cards, they have to trade into it, all of those things. So there's a lot of things that we can test in this list. We can go the Raging Storm route, maybe run some locations and things like that. Run Stitch. Maybe you do run something like the Genies and things. There's a lot of things to test. The core of the list is very good, and that's what gives us room to be able to test a lot with this because, well, like I said, the core of this list is phenomenal. Like, this list is really strong into anything where there's a heavy Amethyst or aggro meta. Like, that's just all there is. So really good list. Again, something I would feel confident taking to a case event tomorrow or just taking a set 10 list. If you're in like DLC Melbourne, just take a set 10 list and call it a day, or take that Blurple list and just try and get some Pete's and be done with it, right? So I don't know, just some thoughts. But I think we have one more. Yeah, so no, 2 more. We have 2 more. So Amber Steel Aggro, another one that has felt great. Like, again, I don't play Amber Steel Aggro. I don't play aggro in person because I just don't enjoy the games being over so fast. But I'll never lie to someone and say that it's not good or difficult, right? So that being said, Amber Steel Aggro is phenomenal. It's really good. The new Lilo that essentially has the Rapunzel effect where you have to deal damage to it twice is incredibly annoying because you go something like a Daisy into a Lilo into a Pudge in the same turn, and then turn 3 you go Lady into Nala, right? What are they going to do at this point? Because they have to send two characters into your Lilo that's questing for 2. Meanwhile, you have a Pudge questing for 1, a Daisy questing for 2. That's a lot to deal with, right? So if it's Blurple, they have to go like Tipo into it plus their Basil into it because they can't even support the Tipo to take out the Lilo because they have to send 2 characters into it. Like, that 2-cost Lilo is a bombshell. Like, that is really good. The rest of the list, what's going on with it? The Nanis have felt really good. A lot of the times when you lose with this deck, it's because you don't find Doc, right? So Nani, it's a character that lets us search for Doc. It's a character that sings Strength of a Raging Fire. That feels really good. Nani has been a top tier card that can also trade. Love it. Raja, because I still love bodyguards, so much so that I've included 2 of the Chief Powhatan, I'm sorry. A 5/5 bodyguard is great. We ran Pluto for how long? And it turned into a 1/5 bodyguard. Now, a 5/5 bodyguard, right? Like, he's a monster of a card that is incredibly difficult to deal with. So I love him. And then testing the shift Lilos, because we have 8 shift targets. So testing the shift Lilo, because if they don't answer those, it's going to be really tough for them. It's going to be really, really hard, because now that shift Lilo brings back a Nala. It brings back a Doc. It brings back a Mowgli. It brings back a Daisy. Like, there is so many good targets for you to bring back when she quests, right? Like that, and then when she quests, they have to answer her. They do not have a choice. So because you have 8 shift targets, I think the Lilo will probably go up to 4. I really do. I could picture myself maybe dropping Raja, depending on what the metas evolve into, dropping Raja from down to 2 to increase Lilo up to 4. Now, things to try. Angel, Akud, and Grandmother Willow are all reasonable additions. I don't personally care for them on paper. I have not tested them yet. Angel on turn 1 to then go into a turn 2 and then a lady plus something and then singing Strength with Angel feels really good. Like that, honestly, I could see myself putting Angel in the list just without the Akud. The Akud is all about high rolling, right? And do I really care about the high roll that much that I want to risk bricking on it when I need characters is the question, right? Because, and I don't think I do. I really don't, because for it to be good, I have to see Angel, right? Or best case scenario, Aurora into Tiana. Tiana sings Akud to play the Chief, right? To play that Chief bodyguard. That feels really good. You draw a card and you have a 5/5 bodyguard down. So that feels really good. So I don't know, though. I really don't know if I want to go that route of doing that. If anything, I could see myself playing Angel just to have the Strength of a Raging Fire Singer when I'm on the draw, because that feels really good, where you go Angel into a 2-cost, into a lady plus thing, to then sing Strength of a Raging Fire on, let's say, Purple Steel's 3-cost character, right? That they're hoping is going to sing Strength of a Raging Fire on your thing. That feels really good. And then Grandmother Willow, I could see myself replacing the Nalas with Grandmother Willow because she feels really good. Like that reducing a character by 1 is really nice. So you can do something like Daisy into Grandmother Willow and then Chief Powhatan on turn 3 and Bodyguard to protect your stuff, right? So you could probably quest with the Grandmother Willow at that point. You could quest with the Daisy and then you throw down whatever else you want. Maybe you go Lilo plus Pudge in the next turn plus a Mowgli, right? So we're going into 4 ink or Lilo Pudge Doc, like things like that. So Amber Steel feels fire. Like it feels really good. It feels really, 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 really good. Again, another list I would have no issue sleeving up, taking it in tomorrow, running a case event, and being happy with how the deck performed, right? Like it feels phenomenal, and another one to definitely look at. But ladies and gentlemen, my last one, right? How could I do a video without green, purple, pinky? And this is probably where you're all going to leave, and I get it because no one enjoys my videos about this deck, but the deck is still great. Like it still feels really good. Is it plausible to run this set? It depends how much aggro hate there is, because you still struggle into aggro a lot. We got Tigger, which does help. Strike a good match doesn't necessarily help aggro, but it helps the control matchups. If red-blue or blue-yellow, like if Blurple takes off, again, I don't think green-blue will survive if aggro takes off, but Blurple will. So this deck will eat Blurple all day long, every day of the week. If they play a Pete and boost, thank you. I'm going to bounce it to your hand now, right? And then you got all these cards for my Clarabelle, right? So the deck feels great. It feels really good. Still struggles into aggro, right? And that is the problem. It still struggles into aggro. You can add all these characters. We have Iagos and Royal Guards and Akalas and all that stuff, and they're all great. They're all great. But our win con is Amethyst Chromacon, and that is also Dog's win con, and Green Purple Burn, and Amethyst Amber Burn, and Amber Steel, right? So yeah, it just feels a little rough. Sven is something you could throw in just to more evasive hate if you think you need it. Snowfort feels really bad, but really good. Like there's games where I've thrown Snowfort into it and played it, and Akela now turns into a 3/5 with resist, and then you can boost it to take out anything. So that feels really good. Like I've had an Akela that took out a Sapphire Pete, and the Akela lives, right? I just had to boost his attack twice, and the Akela lives. How wild is that, right? But yeah, Prince Philip's shift line is still amazing. I held a Blurple player at 19. I was 19-1, and I managed to get all the way to 20. I had 8 cards left in my deck, and I knew that 4 of them were Malicious Mean and Scaries and Prince Philip. So that was just all she wrote. Like it was, yeah. The deck just feels good still. Would I recommend taking it? No. Go, definitely. Do not take this to a week 1 case event because everyone's going to be on aggro and you're going to be very sad. Is it still just as bad into aggro? I don't think so. This Tigger does help because then it can trade also. So it does help. So now if you go something like Royal Guard into Iago, into a Louis, and then you Tigger and bounce something that they might need. I don't know. It does help a little bit. Is it still good? No. But the deck's still fun. And Strike a Good Match is extremely helpful. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's everything. There's some decks that I still want to try really bad. Green Purple Snowfort Tempo. That is something Isaac from the Flower Farm just, I didn't know. First off, Snowfort's an item. I thought it was a location. Weird. But yeah, Snowfort put in a lot of work there. Blue-Yellow Control, Amethyst Amber Control, because I just want to try it. I want to have some fun and play some Hades and some Stitches and all that stuff. Amber Steel, Big Bodies. That's essentially a lantern list with Tinkerbells and just Stitches and all that stuff to see how that works. Blue Steel Darkwing Duck. It's more of an item focused deck. I love like Darkwing Duck. I love that shift line. I love the show. So it would be fun just to get all those items down. And then Green, Yellow, Emerald, Amber discard. On paper looks really tight and looks really good. If you can discard them really fast, and if you do, and they're stuck in top deck mode on turn 5, they could be in a really rough place when a lot of the cards you're using to discard can trade well or quest well. So I want to try that as well. I just want to be a little bit degenerate, why not, right? So that being said, Whispers feels amazing. It really does. I've really enjoyed Whispers, like everything about it. I think that it's been a massive success so far. And are there super big bangers? Yeah, there's a couple, I think. I think Pete is being slept on. I think Zootropolis and Amber is being slept on. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of time for testing. This is very early on in testing, right? So I'll probably do another video next week on where we're at and everything with the testing. But again, if you want to stay on top of what I'm messing with, check out the free Metafy, and I put all my notes in there. I've even started including what my altering hands were, so you see both hands, what I start with and then what I alter into. And if you want to see more things in that, let me know as well. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're enjoying Winterspell. I'm out, okay? Until next time, stay happy and healthy. I'll see you around.